Hello, YouTubers. Welcome back. It's time for the third and final part of the Tom Baker birthday tribute. The last we left off, I stopped on the review of the Armageddon Factor. It's time to pick up from there. Let's move on to the next story tribute. Destiny of the Daleks. This is a very good opening story and marks the return of the Dalek creator Davros. And also, Lala War is now in the body of Romana Veranda Lunda, short for Romana 2. And they arrive on like an android planet. I love this very art design. It's done by a T-Lady Design. But, yep, still, it's a great adventure. Alright, move on to the next story. A 4-part adventure. Doctor Who City of Death. Now, I said my other videos is a 6-part adventure, but I was wrong. It's a 4-part adventure, not 6-part. But anyway, City of Death is a good 4-part adventure. Marks the return of Gillian Glover, last seen in the William Hartnell adventure, The Crusade. Sadly, only the 2nd and 3rd episode exist in the BBC archive of The Crusade. But not Tom Baker's era. All of his stories are fully intact in the BBC archive. Thank goodness for that. And this got a little bit of funny humor. It's co-written by Douglas Adams. And they travel into Paris. And John Cleese has a cameo in this particular adventure. Yep. Good story. Moving on to The Creature from the Pit. The Creature from the Pit is a very good 4-part adventure story. I really love it. Front, spine, and the back. That's when they traveled to a planet Chorus, a vegetarian planet surface. And that's when they discovered like a wolf weed. Fantastic episode. We're moving on to Nightmare of Eden. Now, Nightmare of Eden is a terrible story. And it's okay, but very fun, bit dull in places. It's very silly. I agree with Tim Mayo, aka Tessa Coils. It's just a very silly episode. And one of them looked like a top Muppet. But anyway, they traveled to a hyperspace collision. Yep. Ferocious animal like a monster. The Mandrels. Moving on to the next story. It's a 4-part adventure. The Horns of An Imine. This is the last aired episode of this story, The Horns of An Imine. And here's the Doctor, Mana, and here's like a bowl, and here's a canine, a triangle like a pyramid. But planet Skonar is a powerful creature. The Horn, the Nimine. And it's okay. It's a great episode with probably good story writing from Anthony Reed. Alright, move on to the next story. It's an unfinished episode, but I really enjoyed it. Shada, with more than 30 years in the TARDIS. Now, this story was going to be aired on BBC One, but sadly, that episode was canceled due to the 1979 strike at the time. So, Christopher Neiman also did a wonderful job, too. Yup. Great story writing from Douglas Adams and great director from Pennell Roberts. Here's the first and second disc. And also comes with more than 30 years in the TARDIS. And I like Tom Baker when he bridged the gaps and fill in the stories of the story. Now this was shot into the Doctor Who exhibition store. Oops. Moving on to the next story. Doctor Who goes to the 1980s. And the Ledger Hive. Oh, this is a bold new chapter to Doctor Who. No longer a slit scan title sequence. The title sequence in the Starfield background with Tom Baker's head, and I love the musical incidental music by Peter Howell. The title sequence is done by Sid Shelton. Sid Sutton. Yeah, can't pronounce the name right, but anyway, producer John Nathan Turner trying to get changes in Tom Baker in the burgundy maroon outfit, but doesn't like it. But Ledger High is a very good story. It's very underrated. And travel to Ledger of Fossil Mat, plus the old Fourth Doctor. Here's the DVD it looked like. Alright. Move on to the next story. Meg Loss. It's a very good episode. Tom Baker did a wonderful job playing a dual role of a Fourth Doctor and the Cactus. And I love the performance by Jacqueline Hill. Marks the return of her Doctor Who since she left the series around 1965. And that stopped this evil guy from breaking a time loop, and the evil guy, Cactus, and they kidnapped the Earthler from Earth, the human guy, and they receive a distress call from message from that to return to Gallifrey. Alright, move on to the next story. The Space Trilogy. With all the stories. And this is not the repackaged one, but it's an original release. Which I like this one better than the Slim Pack one. It can hold 3 DVDs in there. Let's take this puppy out. Okay, here we have Full Circle. This is a very awesome story in which the Dr. Romana gets trapped inside of the E-space and marks the first appearances of Adric of this story. Here's the front, the spine, and the back. And here's Adric and his friends, or the Starliner. And there's the Marsh. Here's the DVD. Next up, State of Decay. State of Decay is another Tom Baker story. And I love it's like a Halloween and all the bats around here. And Adric's stolen away in the TARDIS. Yep. And Cody W1 likes this story because it looks delicious. Here's the disc. And finally, Warrior's Gate. Warrior's Gate is the very ending to sad to see Romana, 2, and K9 depart in the series. And they're traveling to like the great black and white, the void. And that's when they lion-like face people right there. I cannot figure out what this lion creature-like face is. Someone help me out. Put in the comments down below. Yep. Alright, moving on to the next story. In the New Beginnings. The Keeper of Traken. Very good story. I really love it. With the Fourth Doctor. And there's Malka. The first appearances of Nyssa and the Master, Anthony Ainley. Yep. And finally, the ending of an era. A sad ending after 7 years. Logopolis. Tom Baker's swan song. It's a good episode, and it's one of my favorite all-time Doctor Who Fourth Doctor stories. It's a classic, and that's when they go into the planet Logopolis. And they repair the Comedian circuit. It's the end, but the moment has begun to prepare for. Alright, that's it for my Tom Baker's birthday tribute. And you have any questions? Feel free to comment down below. Thanks for watching.